Shalom and welcome to Biblical Hebrew Bereishit. Bereishit, chapter 1, verse 26. V'yomer Elohim na'aseh Adam b'tzalmenu kidmotenu v'yirdu v'idgat hayam uvof hashamayim uvav behema uvchal haaretz uvchal haremes haromes al haaretz. Traditional translation. And God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and they shall rule over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the heaven, and over the animals, and over all the earth, and over all the creeping things that creep upon the earth. V'yomer. Traditional translation. And so said. Vav is a prefix that means and. Amar is a verb that means to say, to answer, to say in one's heart, to think, to command, to promise, to intend. Elohim. Traditional translation, God. This is a masculine noun that means God, goddess, godlike one, works or special possessions of God, or the true God. It comes from the root word Elo, which is a masculine noun that means God or false God. Na'aseh. Traditional translation, let us make. The nun is a prefix that indicates the tense of the verb. Asa is a verb that means to do, to fashion, to make, to produce, to work, or to prepare. Adam. Traditional translation, man. This is a masculine noun that means man, mankind, or human being. It comes from the root word Adam, which is a verb that means red, to look red, to redden, or to grow red. B'tzalmenu. Traditional translation, in our image. The bait is a prefix that means in. Tzelem is a masculine noun that means image, likeness, or semblance. The nun and the vav at the end are a suffix that indicates a possessive, in this case the word our. Kidmutenu. Traditional translation, after our likeness. The kaf is a prefix that means after, as in like or similar. Demut is a feminine noun that means likeness or similitude. It comes from the root word dema, which is a verb that means to be like or to resemble. The nun and the vav at the end are a suffix that indicates the possessive, in this case the word our. V'yirdu. Traditional translation, and they shall rule. The vav is a prefix that means and. Radah is a verb that means to rule, to have dominion, or dominate. The vav is a suffix that indicates a possessive. In this case, it would be the word they. Vidgat. Traditional translation, over the fish. The veit is a prefix that means over. Dagah is a feminine noun that means fish. It comes from the root word dag, which is a masculine noun that means fish. Hayam. Traditional translation, of the sea. The hay is a prefix that means the. Yam is a masculine noun that means sea. Uvof. Traditional translation, and over the fowl. The vav is a prefix that means and. The veit is a prefix that means over. Oath is a masculine noun that means flying creatures, fowl, insects, or birds. Hashamayim. Traditional translation, of the heaven. He is a prefix that means the. Shamayim is a masculine noun that means heaven, as in the abode of God, heaven, heavens, or sky. Uvbehema, traditional translation, and over the animals. The vav is a prefix that means and. Veit is a prefix that means over. Behema is a feminine noun that means beast, cattle, or animal. Uvchal, traditional translation, and over all. Vav is a prefix that means and. Veit is a prefix that means over. Kal is an adjective that means all, every, or each. Haaretz, traditional translation, the earth. He is a prefix that means the. Aretz is a feminine noun that means land, earth, ground, or surface of the earth. Uvchal, traditional translation, and over all. Vav is a prefix that means and. Veit is a prefix that means over. Chal is an adjective that means all, every, or each. Haremes, traditional translation, the creeping things. He is a prefix that means the. Remes is a masculine noun that means creeping things, moving things, or creeping organism. It comes from the root word remas, which is a verb that means to creep, to move lightly, or to move about. Haromes, traditional translation, that creep. The he is a prefix that generally means the, in this case is translated as that. Ramas is a verb that means to creep, to move lightly, or to move about. All, traditional translation, upon. This is a preposition that means on, over, upon, about, or concerning. Haaretz, traditional translation, the earth. He is a prefix that means the. Aretz is a feminine noun that means land, earth, ground, or surface of the earth. Thanks for listening. Shalom.